Ladies and gentlemen, hey, what's going on? It's Charles here, and I'm actually in my new apartment, and I kind of wanted to show you around. I got this place. My buddy Nicola, his grandpa, like rents some places there in their backyard and everything, and they're really, really nice people. I mean, his grandpa's probably, what's his name, Slobodan or Slobodan, I guess is how you say it in Serbian. Him and his wife are very, very friendly. They invited me in there yesterday, and they had some 52-year-old rakia, Šljivovica, and in the bottle they had, I'll show you, this isn't it, this is a different one that actually the people here are so friendly. The owner of the hostel I stayed in, he gave me this, and this is some 2002 Šljivovica, and he said it's excellent, excellent stuff. So he gave me that. But anyway, the gentleman that lives here, he let me try this old rakia. I guess they made it whenever the daughter was born, and inside it they had this wooden like thing that was put together by hand or with little sticks, like a little thing in there, a little crafty thing. It was like a yoke, we call it, a thing old people years ago they put on oxen to pull carts. But man, the rakia was very, very smooth. Šljivovica a lot of times smells bad and tastes like crap. But it was very, very smooth, and it had a nice smell to it too. And it was very, very dark colored, So anyway, it was fantastic, and then they cooked some stuff. I actually had sarma. I wanted to make a video, but I felt like an idiot. But they had sarma with instead of cabbage, kupas, they had grape leaves on it. So I mean, it was really unique. It actually had a great taste. I didn't know which I like better. I think it's very nice. It's easy to cut, easy to chew. It's nice. But anyway, I'm going to make this short. Today I'm going to go to Nishkabanya. I'm just going to try to walk there. I know it's a long way from where I'm at here in town. Somebody said it'd take maybe an hour or so. I don't care. I need to get in shape. I'm a fat ass, man. I'm getting fat again, But anyway, I'm going to show you around this apartment. It's 50 euro. It's up these stairs, and it's got a nice little balcony outside. And there's a cherry tree here that the cherries will be ready soon. The old gentleman, the grandpa here, he said that, excuse me, every video, I'm always belching. Isn't that disgusting? I've got an acid reflux problem. So there's a cherry tree here, and he said he's getting ready to make some rakia. Like in 2 weeks, he's going to make some grape rakia. So I'll get to see that whole process. I'm going to record it. I hope you'll let me. So that'll be sweet. So anyway, let me show you around my apartment, and I'll get the hell off here. So thanks a bunch. I really, really love Nish, and I know I say that all the time. Some guy, Peter, you're probably watching this, Peter from Australia. He lives in Australia, but he's a Serb, and he wrote to me, and I'll try to learn a little bit from him. He said that there's so many negatives here in Serbia, and I never mention negatives. I talk about nothing but the positives. And one reason why I do that is, Peter, and I told you that, I think the whole world already has a slight prejudice towards Serbia and Serbians, and so I thought, what is really the point of bringing up more negatives? There is some negatives. There are some negatives, I should say. Izvinite, and I've mentioned some of them. Jobs here, horrible. Political corruption, terrible. One of my buddies, my friend Nicola, he's in theater. Him and his girlfriend Dina, she's a sweetheart. They said, a lot of places you can't even get a job in theater because of politics, political connections. The Democratic Party now is in charge of this theater place or whatever. And he said that if Nikolic wins, the lady that's in charge of it now is gone, and they'll put somebody else in there. That sounds like old style communist stuff. I didn't know that still existed, but it's the case here in Serbia. That's horrible. Somebody needs to change this political crap here. People can't find a job because of their political affiliation. Bullshit. Some other things that I do not like. Nepotism here is another big problem. If you don't know what nepotism is, that's where if you work somewhere, you hire your relatives and your friends and stuff. In the United States, it's strictly forbidden. I know it happens all the time, but it's supposed to be a law, and if you can prove it, they can be in trouble. But here that happens a lot of the time. You get these big factories, and I'll tell people, say, man, why don't you try to get on there? I don't know anybody. I don't have a relative or a friend there, come on, So political, trying to get a job, everything really here is based on the negatives are all economic issues, you know. But other than that, public restrooms they're difficult to find here in Serbia. Smoking is for somebody that doesn't smoke, it's frustrating. Anywhere you go, or not anywhere, I should say, but the majority of places have a zero control over smoking, or zero kako se kaže. I don't know what to say. I just woke up. I look like hell, you can tell. But there's no regulations against smoking in public. You go into a little bar, everybody's smoking. You go into a little cafe, everybody's smoking. I don't like that either. Gambling facilities on every corner for young kids, I think that's a bad thing. But anyway, I'm not going to harp on the negatives. You know, he mentioned that the ethnic diversity, when I said that the people are accepting to strangers, he disagrees with that. And man, I've got a number of foreign friends that live here, Asian, Muslim, Black, and nobody's had any problems. Knock on wood. You know, I've had very few issues being an American, and you know, it's just different really than any other country that I've gone to. You know, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not gonna sit here and blow a bunch of smoke up anybody's ass. You know, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling it how I see it anyway. So, but go back to that. I'm not going to sit here and harp on every little negative, bad thing. This isn't heaven. It's Serbia. It's the Balkans. It's a poorer country, but I think the good really outweighs the bad. You know. So anyway, the politicians, if any of you are watching, you've got to end your corruption. You've got to try to bring better jobs and higher paying standards here. You know, that's the big issue. If that were to change, everything would change for the better, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm just a stupid foreigner anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't care who's your president. I don't care if it's Tadic, if it's Nikolic, if it's Dacic, or whatever his name is, or if it's Miss Sheshel. You know, I just watched the election results yesterday. I was sitting in a little bar here in Niš, and not to get political, you guys always throw me under the bus. And, you know, I posted a picture of Tito, for God's sakes, and you guys are, oh, blah, blah, blah. I posted a picture of Dražen Mihajlov, whatever his name is, that saved all the Americans. Oh, he's a collaborator with the Germans and blah, man. I'm doing that out of respect. I try to post everything. I posted Tito's picture because it was the day he was he died, his meaning, May 5th. And I said, I did not say he was wonderful. I didn't say anything like that. I just said, I heard there was a lot of good things from people that lived there. And some of you said, no, they must not have been they must not have been true Serbians if they enjoyed it. Blah, blah, blah. I know he was a dictator, so just get off it, okay? Back to Tadic. I was sitting in a little bar in Niš, and the election results were coming through, and there was a big group of Democratic supporters. They were right across the street. I guess Niš is very big in the Democratic Party, and all these guys came in, and I asked them, some of the, like LDP guy got 4%, and it was another party I didn't know. And so I said, excuse me, I said, do you speak English? Yes, I speak English, and of course, you know. And they all started asking me why I was, what I was doing in Niš and why I was interested in their politics. I mean, they were friendly, not grilling me, but they thought it was really interesting that I would be, you know, concerned with politics. But they told me their views, that the Democratic Party is the best for the future, blah, blah. But I don't know. I just said, man, I wish you well, congratulations. And anyway, so I guess in 2 weeks they have a runoff between Nikolic and Tadic. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, back here, I talk too much. I want to show you my little apartment. 50 euros a month. Can't beat it, you know. Nice, clean, quiet, beautiful place. Friendly neighbors and everything. So it'll be cool. Let me show you. This here is my little kitchen. I got a little table they put in. Of course, you got this crazy water heater that Serbia loves to put up on the wall for some reason. I don't know why they do that. Maybe to save space. I don't know. Nice little cabinet here. You know, they even gave me a glass because I didn't have any glasses. Gave me a plate, fork, knife, spoon. Gave me a cup of coffee and this little deal. I'll have to show you again how to make coffee. This is like I forget the name of this, but this is how they make coffee in Serbia. And I'm still mastering it. You know, you take a big spoon of that, put it in there and let it boil. Oh, it's really nice. You know, it's very strong coffee. Here's a little stove here. It works. Got that. This is kind of weird too. Look how high up this is. So when you turn it on, it kind of splashes. You know, it's kind of funny. Anyway, then you got my little bed, pull-out couch thing here. Got a little table, Got my old Shlivovica, you can see, of course, my American passport. Hey, I'll show you that if you have never seen an American passport. Don't copy my name or numbers or anything. Look how fat I was. God, look at my face. Jesus Christ, I was a pig. That's the American passport. It's kind of faded. Nice little dresser. There's the window, suitcase. Here's this bathroom. Check this out. This is so weird. You've got, it's really small. And look how you take a shower. This is so funny. You take this and you take it off, of course, and then you just take a shower standing here and water goes down there. Never seen anything like that in my entire life. I walked in and my friend told me, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I've never heard of such a thing. You could take a shower while you're sitting on the toilet, I guess, but got a little curtain if you want to pull this shut. Here, got some windows, of course, I told you. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to go to Nishkabanya. Take care. Go Virginia. Bye-bye.